Hey, it's me again. I'm really at the end. I just went down this road. It was a great ride. It's just a nice stretch, slightly downhill. I was able to pick up speed. And let me just show you sort of the wide expanse of what I'm looking at here. So you can see some cannons, and this apparently, there's a lot of cannons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 I'm looking at. And there's more back there. And there's some others spread out in other places, but and then you've got this little visitor area here. It says the beautiful charge. That beautiful charge I shall never forget, with banners streaming, with drums beating, and our long line of bluecoats advancing upon the double quick, with their deadly bayonets gleaming in the sunlight, and every man and officer yelling at the top of his lungs. Eugene B. Payne, Captain, 37th Illinois Infantry Regiment. And you can see this, so this would have been March 8th in the middle of the morning, maybe 10ish or so, 9, 10. You can see sort of this, the Union battle line stretched about a mile across the field. Oh man, it is cold. It's like, I just said, it's actually 31 degrees, but man, with the wind, I feel like my hands are just freezing. I'm gonna put my coat around my hands a minute, just a second. Oh man, it's cold. I took my gloves off so I could handle this camera phone, but I swear it feels like it's 15 degrees with the wind. But anyway, it's this is where it says, when the bugle sounded the charge at 10 a.m., standing here were 10,000 Union men, an entire army visible from one place. During the Civil War, such a sight was so rare that its terrifying grandeur seared itself into the memory of every man present. I'll bet it did. Can you imagine? And over here, this is about this guy. Here, you can see his face up there. It says, "Dot de Schwat Sergeant." I saw General Siegel sight one piece and sent a shot at the rebel guns that had driven us back. I went tearing in among the men and horses, killing and wounding both, and then exploded in one of the caissons. Placing his glass to his eye, I guess that means his spyglass or his little telescope. Placing his glass to his eye to note the effect of a shot, the general said, "Dat is Schwat Sergeant. Just put them right in there." Because he's, that was my best German. Sorry if you're from Austria or Germany, but that's the best I can do. It says, General Franz Sigel ordered the Union gunners positioned here to concentrate on first one Confederate target, then another. 2 hours of methodical massed cannon fire shattered enemy battle lines and morale. Pea Ridge marked the first time this practice was used effectively in a Civil War battle. And then down here it says, Franz Sigel learned how to handle artillery as a young officer in Germany. Sigel, the second highest ranking Union officer in the Army of the Southwest, worked his way among the lines, moving from cannon to cannon. And that's what we do. We're artillery. And see this thing here? You dip that in water and it kind of makes sure that everything's out and not burning in there. And then there's another thing called the worm, which is like a corkscrew, and you scrape out any debris that's left in the cannon. I was doing that. I was doing that last week. But anyway, isn't this awesome? I mean, first of all, it's a wonderful place to come and ride your bike, because I think I've had 2 cars pass by, and it's a stinking Saturday. I don't think anyone wants to come out in the freezing cold wind. The poor guys up there doing infantry training. 3 of them were with me last week. They must be cold. I don't see them out. Maybe they're gone underground. Maybe they're doing it inside or something because it's so stinking cold. But if I get up there, I'm hoping I see some of them in their uniforms, because I think they're supposed to be here till 2 o'clock. But you know what they might be doing? They might be learning how to pack powder into little. You have to pack the black powder into these little wads of paper tightly, and then that goes in your musket, and then you put like a cap on the firing mechanism where the trigger goes, the firing mechanism, pin, whatever. And then when that cap makes a little mini explosion, kind of like a cap on a cap gun, really, and it makes a little it helps the stuff explode, and then you have a boom coming out of your gun, but there's no ball that comes out of it that rips into someone's flesh, you know, because that wouldn't go over so well in a reenactment. I don't think they'd let us do reenactments if people's flesh were torn and legs were blown off. But anyway, this is it. This is the place. Look at how vast it is. I just love the fact that they've preserved this much land, because there's no way, there's just no way that you get the scope of what a battlefield, a Civil War battlefield is like unless you're there, unless you see it and it's preserved. So kudos to whomever, Department of the Interior, or whoever way back then decided, hey, let's preserve these places so people can remember, you know, the awesome nature of what went on. You know, when I was talking to those Hispanic folks back there, one of them said, I'm really thankful for the sacrifice of these people. Of these people. You know, it's interesting to me that they saw the Civil War, or they view the Civil War as something that was fought for them. But when you think of it from the perspective of, you know, I mean, obviously if you're a slave, you're free. But as a Mexican or a Guatemalan, to view the Civil War victory as something that benefits you, it's interesting, isn't it? I just find that interesting, because they didn't know a lot about it. I was kind of filling them in on what Gettysburg was and so forth, and you know, I don't know a lot about Mexican history. They were kind of alluding to some independence thing with Durango, because they all seem to be from Durango, Mexico, and I have no idea. All I know is Durango, Colorado. That's all I know. There's a lot more for me to learn at 62, but man, they're telling us not to go to Mexico right now because, you know, people get murdered down there. So I don't even know if and when I ever will go to Mexico. I've only been to Tijuana because I grew up in San Diego, and you know, Tijuana is kind of that over the border little thing you do. And I did camp once on the border with Boy Scouts, but I just haven't been a Mexico guy. I don't know. We went to Hawaii. We've never been to Cabo San Lucas. But anyway, I need to cut this short and get back in the car and get warm because my hands are freezing. So I'll say over and out. Bye.